For any type of journaling out there, we need to understand what's in it for me. Why am I going to spend time and my energy focusing on this type of journaling? Well, one of the benefits is already in the title, a creative writing journaling. Creative. It pays to be creative because when you think about it, those individuals that rise in any organization, whether it's a company or whether it's entrepreneurship, they have amazing ideas. A couple of years back, there was this survey that was done with a lot of CEOs asking them what is the number one trait that they look for when hiring someone. And a staggering amount of them said creativity, because the ability to generate and connect ideas at will is an asset. And with this creative writing journaling framework, you begin to take your mind to the gym and you begin to exercise that form of creativity into your life. Another benefit is that it gets you into the creator's mindset. Think about it like this. Look to your left, look to your right. So many people are just over here consuming all the time. And once they're consuming all the time and they're not releasing it, it's very similar to a sponge that's taking in all this water, all this gunk, but it's never wringing it out. And when you do not wring out the sponge, aka the brain, what traditionally happens is that the brain begins to feel overwhelmed. So with this form of a creative writing journaling framework, you get into the habit of creating. And the third benefit is that a lot of times, the stuff that you create in your creative writing journaling prompts, you can use for other ways to build your brand. These entries can eventually turn into blogs, can turn into daily newsletters, can turn into threads or even tweets. So it's a habit that you're building that can eventually compound from there. So these are just a few of the benefits from creative writing journaling. Once you get started, you'll feel very good that you picked up this habit. So we're going to keep it simple. There's two things that's required in order to begin this type of journaling. You need a prompt and you need to write. That is all. The first question is, where do you get the prompt? Well, you can go on Google and just type in creative writing prompts and plenty will be presented to you. You can go on a e-commerce shop and buy a creative writing prompts journal. You can hit up a few of your friends and be like, hey, think of some interesting prompts that you want me to write about and I'm going to do it. Or if you're feeling very creative, you can even assign the prompts to yourself. The next part is writing. You're just going to execute. Now, we're not going to overthink this. We're just going to begin writing. Now, since this is something that's creative in nature, there's different thoughts in regards to planning this out. I'm of the philosophy that you don't plan it out. You let your body be the compass on where you should go with your prompt. But I am aware that there are certain people who are like, I don't really like that. I'm more so of a planner. So if you are someone like that, sure, you can outline your entry piece. And once you create the outline, then you can begin writing. But the main two components that are required is number one, the prompt, and number two, the attitude to write. Let's talk about the prompts a little bit more. With prompts, we don't want something that's too logical in nature because that's safe. And here's an example of something that's too logical in nature. Talk about yourself. I mean, yeah, you could get creative with it, but let's be real. This is something that a lot of individuals are expecting. Here's something that is not safe. Talk about what you would do if you had wings for a day. And immediately, you may be like, what? Wings? But that's not even physically possible, bro. That defies the laws of science. Good. Because the sillier that your prompt is, the more potential for creativity. Keep that in mind. When you're over here thinking about which prompt you should choose in order to write, do not go for the safe options. Go for the options that make you feel, whoa, I don't know about that. But that, whoa, I don't know about that, behind it is some curiosity. You feel curious in regards to this prompt because a part of you, the safe brain, is like, I don't really know if you can do that, man. But the ambitious mind is like, but we're going to try. Because if you can focus on these silly prompts, the stranger that it is to you, because that's subjective. What is strange for one person is normal for another person. But it's strange to you, the more that you're going to get out of the creative writing prompts journal, and the more that you're going to flex the mind. It's sort of like yoga for the mind. And the more that you begin writing, the more that you keep flexing that mind. And once you close the entry piece, your mind is expanded and it becomes easier to reach elevated thought waves at will.